Welcome to the Mutant Farmer's Market. Can I interest you in some twisty radishes? And now you know what it sounds like to have some green onions up in your ear. So, yeah, we got mushy bell peppers. But the side is crunchy. But it looks like gross. Why do they look this way? Can anybody tell me? This one even has like weird little like texture on the bottom. And this one's like so tiny it almost doesn't exist. Look at that. I may have picked this one too early. These are starting to look kind of like fall leaves. They're all speckled. This one's really the sad one. It's kind of dried out. Got some seeds rolling around in there. Poblano. I did actually have some that were a little bit bigger earlier in the season, so I was able to make stuffed poblanos. Anyway, that's that for my poblano peppers. I've never tried making hot sauce before, but I would like to because I love hot sauce. And there's something kind of special about making your own sometimes. I just feel like it'd be kind of fun. So I have this one, which is like probably what I would expect a personal sized seedless watermelon to be. And I got this one, which is so cute. It's like snack size. I don't think that they were really quite ready for picking yet, but the vine they were attached to died off. I mean, it sounds like it'd be pretty good, but I've read that the spot on the watermelon should be like more of a golden color when it's ripe. Maybe next year I'll be a little more successful, but that's what I got this year. I'm just gonna roll with it. Literally roll, because yeah. Hello, how are you? It's very good to see you. Today I'm wearing some overalls to go with the theme, which is gardening. Well, update on my garden. My garden, it was a little sad this year, similarly to last year, between animals and my just lack of skill and knowledge. They kind of just combined to create some sad produce, which I will show you soon. But yeah, I wear these little overalls. You might hear them clicking every so often when I move around. So hopefully it's nice and not annoying. We'll see. So I guess I'll just go ahead and get started and show you my poor, sad garden haul, my harvest for this year. And because they are very close to me right now, as in location-wise, just a reachable spot, I'll show you my carrots. There. Okay, I know what I did wrong here. These carrots are... I made the mistake. I forgot to thin the seeds out after I planted them. So this is like literally how they came out of the ground. I rinsed them off a little bit, but yeah, I just plucked, like, they just grew that close. So they're all very small and kind of deformed. I'm dropping dirt everywhere. Let's give you a closer look there. The saddest, the saddest carrots. Like, can I even use this for anything? I don't know. It's very small and sad. Some of these are a little better, like that one, or like this guy. But overall, this is kind of a sad harvest. This is only like maybe a quarter of them, but they're all this tiny. I just kind of dumped the whole pack of seeds in the ground and hoped for the best. And once they started sprouting, I just didn't thin it out like I should have. What a disaster. But lesson learned. You know, that's learning through trial and error, I suppose. I don't know exactly what I'll do with these because they're just so small you can almost not do anything with them, you know? Have you ever made a mistake like this before if you're into gardening? This one just seems kind of novice. I should have known to thin the seeds out, but I actually made the same mistake with some radishes, of course. So I planted the radishes too close to each other and forgot to thin them out. I think these are radishes. These are just really ugly anyway and just so sad looking. But they started getting all twisty and like growing extra like long and weird. I feel like this is my mutant garden. Welcome to the Mutant Farmer's Market. Can I interest you in some twisty radishes? Maybe I can brush the mic with those roots. Yeah, so I have, these are like some of the bigger ones. Most of them are just straight like roots and that's it. I don't even think I want to eat these. I'm not a big radish fan, to be honest. They're good as like a little topping on salads and stuff, but they're a little peppery for my taste. I'm not a big pepper fan. Black pepper. I love hot peppers. We'll get to those soon. But also these are kind of creepy. It reminds me of bug legs or something. Can you see like the little hairs and stuff? Kind of reminds me of bugs. I don't know if it should be that way. I feel like it shouldn't be that way, right? I don't know. It's definitely not attractive looking. That's all I gotta say. Well, I guess that's one thing that these poor radishes and I have in common. Okay, so they're my sad root vegetable. Oh no, I do have another really sad root vegetable. Okay, so these are supposed to be green onions. They're very small. This is really all I've gotten. This is my whole harvest of green onions, or bunching onions, as the seed packet called them. They really don't smell super oniony. And they're also like, I just plucked these this morning for this video. And they're all just dry and scraggly. Did I let them sit for too long? Not long enough? Did I plant them too close to each other? I don't know. I just don't know about garden stuff, I guess. I try. They do have kind of a nice little sound, though. so sad. Well, once again, I don't think I can really do anything with this. Maybe I can throw them on top of like a salad. It might be enough to flavor some sort of stir fry or like single serve type of thing. Like, have you ever seen this? Is smaller than my fingernail. It's like so tiny. I don't really know what I did wrong with these. I guess maybe they were also planted too close. Oh yeah, they smell like onions now. I can definitely smell them. I think I've been handling them too much. Let's make my mic smell like onion. Yum. Sounds like to have some green onions up in your ear. Alright, so speaking of more sad vegetables, I have this little bell pepper. It is misshapen and sad. I've gotten maybe 2 yellow ones. This is one of the 2. And then some red ones grew on a different plant, which I actually used because they were like decent looking. I still intend on using this one if I can, although I don't know about this mushy part here. I don't think that would be any good. So it's like, what can I really use this for? I could probably just snack on it, dip it in hummus, or put it in a wrap. I don't know. It's just kind of embarrassing. I was so like looking forward to my harvest, and I was like, oh, look at all these things growing. And then as they got bigger and bigger, I was like, some of these don't seem quite right. What did I do? So yeah, we got mushy bell peppers, but the side is crunchy. It still makes a nice noise, at least. Now, there are some things that are looking decent. Like I have a butternut squash. It's not quite ready to be harvested yet. The thing is, the vine seems to be drying up on it, and I don't really know what to do about that. It's like the main plant is dead. Like the mothership is destroyed, but all the little satellites are still floating around. It like branched out and took over a lot of space in my garden, and there's one little squash and it looks like it would be pretty good, but I do think it needs a little bit more time. I also had some snacking peppers, little orange ones, little bell peppers. Those ended up pretty good, which is probably why I don't have any more left to show you. This morning it looked like there were actually a couple more growing, so that's good. But yeah, this is real sad. Alright. of other very sad, I should be embarrassed about how sad some of these crops came out, but I got one single eggplant. It smells a little weird, almost like coffee, but it shouldn't smell like coffee. Did I just let it sit on the vine for too long or on the plant for too long? The sound isn't bad, so at least it's worth something, but I would not eat this. Like, I don't even know, like, it wouldn't be dangerous to eat, I'm sure, but it looks like gross. This is not a sexy eggplant. I'm a little sad because my eggplants last year came out pretty good. I made some like dip, baba ganoush. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sorry if I said it wrong, but that was really good. And I also made a lot of curry, eggplant curry. But this is the only eggplant that I got this year. And I don't know why it looks this way because my other ones last year were pretty good, so. I guess I should just be glad that like something came out of it. Like out of the plant, like it grew something. It tried. We can't all be perfect. It really almost doesn't even look like an eggplant at all. I would be embarrassed, but I kind of think it's funny. I mean, it's partially my fault that these didn't come out right, I'm sure, but nature also has a way of playing games. That's what I'll just say. But yeah, I was looking forward to some more eggplant curry, and I'm just gonna have to go to the store and buy like good eggplants. Well, that's the sad produce is about to come your way once again. This is supposed to be a cucumber. Why did it come out shaped this way? I didn't do anything to it. Last year, I actually got quite a few cucumbers, and they were like normal. Nothing super weird. They didn't taste super great, I guess, but these just grew on the vine. Weird looking. Like, I got this one off, but like, why do they look this way? Can anybody tell me? Like, have you had experiences like this before? Help me troubleshoot. This one even has like weird little like texture on the bottom. It's like spiky. I don't know. Now the real question is, do you think it would still taste like a cucumber? Do you think it would look like a cucumber on the inside? to go grab a knife later and cut it open. I'll show you. We'll revisit these after I grab a knife. See, this one has little spikes and bumps. But like this one just makes me laugh. I don't. Yeah, it's a cucumber. Here you go. It's like, can you imagine? Why is it round? They're just supposed to be regular cucumbers, to my knowledge. I don't really know what went wrong. I'll have to find a use for something like this. But yeah, that's that. It does look pretty normal on the inside, right? There you go. So these, I don't know if, I've never grown these before. They're supposed to be Tomatillos, I think that's how you say it. Like this, I mean, I don't know. I've made salsa with them before in the past, but I've never like grown them. So this one's one of the better looking ones. And I feel like maybe, I mean, they're almost certainly on the small side. I put them in a little baggie to keep them all together, which is also probably not a good idea, but it's just for now. I don't exactly know what these should look like or what size they should be, because I have limited experience with them. But I feel like they're not too bad. I should try one though. I actually have a lot of these. There are a lot still outside waiting to be picked. I think by the end of the season I could fill this bag up. I don't know if that's a lot to you or not. To me it's a lot. I mean, you saw everything else I grew. Like, anything is a lot if it exists for me. Oh, that one's really green. And this one's like so tiny it almost doesn't exist. Look at that. I may have picked this one too early. You will. I have some peppers. Although their stems are like falling off. These are supposed to be Shishito Peppers. Red ones and green ones both grew on the plant. And honestly, I don't know if the green ones just weren't ripe and I picked them too soon. I'm used to seeing, I guess, either color in the store. I like doing blistered shishito peppers, but I only got 4 from this plant, so I guess I'll just have 4 to blister. Usually I have like a bag of them. This one's kind of weird because it has some sort of growth on it. It's like it almost tried to grow another little pepper off of itself. So, my mutant garden continues. But I do love shishitos. I know, like, they're generally a mild sort of pepper, but you get a really spicy one, like, what is it, 1 in every 12 or something like that. I don't mind if they're really spicy. I kind of like it. So yeah, I don't know if I made a mistake by picking the green ones too soon. But I mean, hopefully they still taste good. I'll try them. So I actually had some really good kale and Swiss chard and romaine earlier this year. But now this is what's coming out of my Swiss chard plant, and the kale's pretty much done. I think it's given all it can this year. But yeah, so the new leaves coming from the Swiss chard are pretty discolored and sad, and they're all a lot smaller, so I think it's about done as well. But I mean, they kind of smell like earthy. I guess makes sense. But yeah, there were some really good bits earlier this year. These are starting to look kind of like fall leaves. They're all speckled, and I really like chard because of the color of the stems. These are all red, but earlier this year I had like really vibrant yellows and oranges and pinks. I call this red. It's more like a pink. Purple, magenta. This one's really the sad one. It's kind of dried out. So I don't think that something went wrong with these. I think this is just the end of the season for the chard. Maybe, I mean. Whoa, that was loud. Kind of crunchy. This doesn't even look good at all. It looks so sad. Like, I'm just looking at like the saddest parts of my garden, and that's, oh, how is your garden, Selena? Oh, great. Got some very edible objects here. Yes, Swiss chard. This is purely for the garden theme. Usually I just wear sweatpants whenever, well, and a sweatshirt or t-shirt, whatever, while I'm out there gardening. I make it sound like I go out there and like tend to the garden, but the truth is I kind of just planted everything and then water it once a day if it didn't rain. So that's probably a good part of my problem. It's just I didn't actually garden. I just planted things. But let's see. I have strawberries. This is all that was out there this morning. So the birds just love these strawberries. They really don't get a whole lot bigger than these, unfortunately. They do get riper. I think this one is only here because it's not quite ripe enough for the birds to eat. And I tried putting like an ultrasonic thing out there, and it does sort of work, but I don't know what happens to the strawberries, to be honest. I think squirrels also eat them. I've seen squirrels out there. Do squirrels eat strawberries? I don't know. But yeah, so this was all that was out there. It's weird because last night I saw several red, juicy berries. And I was like, oh, I'll just leave those there for now. I'll pick them tomorrow morning and I'll use them in the video. And then this was all that was left. Heartbroken. It's literally just like a little berry sampler. Like, I've only gotten like 3 or 4 little strawberries out of this that I've actually been able to eat. And they're all this tiny. They're just really tiny. Very juicy and flavorful, but very tiny. So that's my strawberries. My 2 strawberries. This one's like, doesn't really count, does it? Good times. Good times. I also had lots of little cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes. Those actually all came out really good, and I have a few that are green. They're not quite ready. I've used all the ripe ones, so I can't show those to you, but you can trust that those were good ones. And I have this little tomato. I did get several tomatoes, maybe like 4 or 5, and I noticed a couple more growing on the plant, but I think the plant's about to like give up. It's starting to wither a bit. It is really late in the season though, so it makes sense. I'm happy with my tomato harvest. This is the last one I think that I'll actually be able to use. And these have been pretty good, pretty flavorful. So that's my tomato. Nothing super interesting about it. It's a little small. They were all a little small. Anyway, these tomatoes came out pretty good. I'll probably use this one tonight in some sort of recipe. Or maybe I'll just slice it up and eat it. We'll see. I also have a lot of interesting peppers. I got some like, what do you call it? Heirloom pepper seeds of various types, as well as some really hot peppers. The saddest one was this Korean pepper. It's weird because last year I had a Korean pepper plant. I had so many peppers, I didn't even know what to do with them all. I ended up drying them out, and I guess I should make like a hot sauce or gochujang. But this is the only one I got from my plant this year. And some sort of animal tried to eat it. it and decided it was too spicy and left it behind. So that's my Korean pepper. It's the one that I got this year. And if you've seen some of my other videos, you may have seen how last year I had so many. Isn't that one pepper video the spiciest video that I have on this channel? So, yeah, that's probably a squirrel. Those little fiends. But it does make a nice noise. Nice ASMR sound, right? Got some seeds rolling around in there. So I guess this one really isn't usable, but I do have plenty dried up still from last year, so some other peppers that I have. These are interesting. These are pumpkin spice peppers. That's what they're called. It's funny because they actually looking at them now, the shape isn't exactly similar, but they are sort of similar in color and size to the yellow/orange snacking bell peppers that I had. So I didn't look at which plant it was coming off of. I just grabbed a pepper and I ate it as a snack one time, and it ended up being a lot spicier than I thought. I was like, this is kind of spicy for a bell pepper. And it was later that I realized that I actually ate one of these pumpkin spice peppers. It wasn't like eyes watering kind of hot, but it definitely was spicier than I expected, considering I was expecting a sweet pepper. But they are really cute, and of course, I love the fact that they're called pumpkin spice because, you know, I'm that kind of girl. So, those are pretty cute. Another interesting pepper that I have that I haven't tried yet is brown jalapeno. So, I assume that they taste very similar to the green jalapenos, but they're just brown in color. And I think these came out pretty good. I don't know exactly like the size that they're supposed to be, but they're not quite as sad looking as some of the other things. I feel like they seem pretty normal. I'm curious to try these. They'd probably be good stuffed, but unfortunately, these are the only two that I got off of the plant so far, though I did see like probably 5 or 6 dangling there that haven't turned brown yet. So I'm hoping they get a chance to ripen before some animals eat them. But if they're spicy, maybe the animals will just leave them alone. That'd be nice. More for me. I'm not here to feed the neighborhood squirrels, that's for sure. So yeah, these are, I don't know if there's supposed to be a taste difference with brown versus green. I also had, although this plant died off pretty early, some tomatoes called atomic tomatoes. And they're like speckled or like mixed in color, almost like iridescent in a way. They're very interesting, like browns and greens. And I did have some of those. They were really good. They stayed really small. I don't know how big they were supposed to have gotten. But those were earlier in the season, so now I just have like a dried stem of a plant left. Anyway, these are my jalapeños. Some other peppers that I have. These are really small, I think, but poblano. These are little poblano peppers. Poblano. I did actually have some that were a little bit bigger earlier in the season, so I was able to make stuffed poblanos. Those were really good. But these are really small, so I don't know exactly what to do with them. Although I could make like maybe a salsa or a hot sauce with poblanos and jalapeños. Maybe. A green salsa. Well, green and brown, I guess. That's that for my poblano peppers. And some other peppers that I have. You're like, oh, stop with the peppers already. I got a lot of peppers. I put them all in the same container, so they all got mixed up. But there's Carolina Reaper and there's ghost peppers. And they smell spicy. Even here by my nose, I can smell how spicy they are. I believe these red ones are the Carolina Reapers. Oh, wait. Maybe these are the orange. I don't know. Getting them all mixed up now. I'm going to have to go back out and look at the plant because there's still several peppers on the plants themselves. So I know that I'll be able to tell which is which once I see which ones are growing on the plants again. I shouldn't have put them all in the same container. But also, I guess it's not a big deal. What I was thinking was making a hot sauce with these. I've never tried making hot sauce before, but I would like to because I love hot sauce. And there's something kind of special about making your own sometimes. I just feel like it'd be kind of fun. I do need to be careful about touching my face afterwards with these. I don't think I got any juices on me, but I really they smell so spicy. I want to eat one, but they do smell so spicy that I feel like if I did eat one, it would make me kind of sniffly potentially. I'm sure that you guys don't want me sniffling in your ears. Some of these have a really weird texture. Like this one. Anyway, so that's my pepper haul. Do you like spicy peppers? Well, speaking of more misshapen vegetables, this is a zucchini. I had one that was even weirder shaped. It looked more like a butternut squash in the way it was shaped, which, I mean, zucchinis are a type of squash, so it makes sense. But this one's turning yellow. I think it's because it's kind of old. I wasn't sure if I was going to get more, and so I was like, I'll save this one for the video about my garden, if I ever do an update. But I kept this one, and then this one came out. It's like the biggest zucchini I've ever seen. I don't know if it'll even be good. So yeah, my zucchini plant. I managed to get 3 decent sized zucchinis out of it. The rest of them were nibbled on by animals, so I just let them be. I let the animals have it. It's actually kind of interesting. There's somebody who lives close by me somewhere that they raise rabbits, but they let their rabbits free roam, and they've been reproducing like crazy, and they're all just like pet bunnies. They're like lop-eared and like dwarf bunnies and stuff, and they're like white and gray speckled and black, and they're all really cute, but they're running around like wild bunnies, and I've even seen them in my yard. So I feel like that's potentially problematic. I actually had a rabbit growing up as a kid. I had a miniature lop bunny, and his name was Bunter. Well, Bontrager was actually his name, but I called him Bunter. So we have wild bunnies, and then we have these domestic wild bunnies. And plenty of owls and hawks to keep those bunnies in check, apparently. Because I have seen them both alive and well and not so alive and well. Definitely gotten by a hawk or something and dropped, or I don't know. That's nature for you. So yeah, the bunnies have eaten my zucchini, most of them. But I did get a few survivors. This one could really be like 3. This is a big boy. And this one's pretty big too, but it might be a little past being usable at this point. I don't know. Can you eat a yellow zucchini? It's probably pretty dried up or weird in texture. Zucchini, 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 zucchini. Zucchini, zucchini, zucchini. And last but not least, I have these little personal watermelons. I don't think that they were really quite ready for picking yet, but the vine they were attached to died off, and so they've also been sitting out there for longer than I would expect them to need to be sitting out there. Maybe I plucked them a little too early, but hopefully they're still good. I love watermelon. I don't know how this little tiny personal watermelon would be though. It sounds like it'd be pretty good, but I've read that the spot on the watermelon should be like more of a golden color when it's ripe. And they don't really ripen off the vine to my understanding, but if the vine's dead, does that mean they're done? They're just as ripe as they're gonna get? That was my thought process. I was like, well, I don't think it's going to get any more ripe. It like grew, but then it stopped growing and it stopped changing color. So it's like, I'll just pick it before it like gets eaten by some animal. So I have this one, which is like probably what I would expect a personal sized seedless watermelon to be. And I got this one, which is so cute. It's like snack size watermelon, and I don't know, this is like so adorable. I don't know if this one will be good though. It almost doesn't seem like you would have any juice or flavor, but I'm quite curious about it. I like them to be really cold though whenever I eat watermelon, so I have to keep these in the fridge for a little bit before I cut them open. That's a pretty nice looking watermelon though, wouldn't you say? Definitely very small. Like maybe one of the smaller watermelons I've ever seen. But I kind of love that about it. That's what makes it special. If you were here, then I would let you have the bigger one. You're here with me in spirit. But if you were physically here with me, then you could have the bigger watermelon. I'll take the small one. Unless you want the small one, then you can have the small one. I'm cool with that. I also had broccoli and cauliflower. And those just never really took off. Cauliflower sort of looked like a cauliflower for like a week, and then it just got brown and shriveled up and disappeared. Even the stem is gone. It's just shriveled up, and I had a decent amount of broccoli, and it just like never became broccoli. I don't know. Like there's a few little like florets that came out, but they were like tiny, like smaller than my fingernails, and only on a few plants, and then they just got brown and super dry and the leaves fell off. I watered them too, so I don't know. Although I did realize that part of my problem, I think, is that I have a huge black walnut tree in my yard, and I read that they give off this like chemical that certain plants just really don't do well with. So I think I need to just pick and choose what's going to go closer to the tree, or maybe just do flowers or something in those garden beds next year. Maybe that's why I have a mutant garden. It's that black walnut chemical. I think it's called juglone. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, that is really all I have right now to share from my garden. I hope you enjoyed my mutant vegetable haul, fruit and vegetable haul. I should do like a mutant farmer's market. Here's my deformed baby carrots and my sad round cucumbers. Honestly, I feel like the cucumbers though, like that could be a thing they sold at the store, and just like they're like, yeah, it was a mistake, but just like brand it like they're supposed to be round and people are gonna go crazy for it. Round cucumbers. It's a business idea. It's free. I'm gonna throw it out there. Whoever wants it, just you could take it. You could just use this as the prototype. Anyway, maybe next year I'll be a little more successful, but that's what I got this year. I'm just gonna roll with it. Literally roll, because yeah. Oh, it is actually rolling away. I just need to hold it apparently, so. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. There's something endearing about these little sad mutants, right? So yeah, have a good night. I hope I'll see you again soon. But until then, stay well.